2, 1.
I know, you see, somehow the world will change to me and feel so wonderful. We did that same joke last week.
Yeah.
You did it by yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Last week,
just
you
you.
guys are the ones that sang
I didn't
it.
sing it last week.
Skylar and
I
Dave
probably
definitely
sang it.
did. I didn't
I
really
think
do
I
it.
did.
Cole-
a little bit.
Cole
I did.
it by himself today.
It's because every time the thing does the countdown, I always think of iCarly. Ever since he started doing it Death Stranding, I've always just been like, I like that.
It's iCarly.
I was a big fan of Freddie. I was a Freddie main.
Freddie Merc.
He was best guy.
Didn't he kiss both girls?
Yeah. I always wanted to be Freddie.
I was a big fan of Gibby.
He definitely kissed Sam.
I like Gibby.
I don't know why, but like when I was younger, I wanted to be Freddie. And now
Is
look
that
where
because
I am.
he's a tech guy? Well, you're a tech guy now,
And look
Cole.
at you. You look just like him. No, you don't really. Just kidding.
I
I
saw
don't think he has facial
you
hair.
know, speaking of old Nickelodeon TV shows, I saw this weird like video. I think it was on Instagram, but it was like these guys. They were doing a Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide, kind of like rip-off riff thing.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the guys had us, and it was like we were walking with each other, and it shows the notebook, says Ned's Declassified, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, I don't need this anymore. I'm in college. And he throws it in the trash. And then Ned walks up with a freaking full beard. He said, like, what are you doing? This is gold.
The real, is it the
It's
real
a real
Ned?
guy, dude.
Wow.
Yeah. And he's
That's
just
so
like, and they're just like, we're sorry.
I'd keep it.
I think his name is Nathan, I believe.
Nathan Drake.
I think it was Nathan
The main
Kress.
guy? Oh, that's Freddie. Yeah, Freddie.
Oh, okay. Nathan Kress is Freddie.
Yes.
Who I don't remember the Ned Declassified guy is
I
then.
forgot his name.
I thought that
Devin.
was Nathan. Devin.
Devin. That's
Devin.
his name.
That's
Devin
his
what?
name.
Something.
Don't know his last name, but definitely right, Devin.
It's like Devin something. His last name's pretty
Thing?
long, I think.
But it was pretty cool.
I don't know.
I'm
And then
looking it
he gave him like an upgraded one for college. He's like, here you go.
That's cool.
A bunch of
Oh.
condoms.
Dude, Ned's Declassified was seriously an underrated Nickelodeon TV show.
I agree.
was so sad when it ended, but I was so satisfied with the ending because Ned got with the girl.
The tall girl.
I never saw the ending.
Dude, I'm
just
I'm
spoiled
such,
it for me.
I'm such a sucker for.
You're
love.
years
For-
late
for
to this,
love.
bro. I saw this. It's
Cole,
like,
sucker
He just
for love.
spoiled it.
Cole only watches shows where he knows that the characters are gonna hook up.
I don't
He
know
admitted
that.
it to me. He
It's not that
admitted
I
it
know
to
it,
me.
though.
Devin Workshire.
It's that I hope.
Heiser.
I hope
there's
that they'll
supposed to
hook
be
up.
there's supposed to be a sequel, but they were like, no. It's supposed to be a high school survival guide,
No.
but they said no.
Is there? So Cole wanted to be Nathan Kress. He wanted
Yeah,
to be.
Nathan Kress is Freddie.
I wanted to be Freddie.
You want to be Freddie. You want to
Yeah.
know who I wanted to be growing up?
Hey, he's 5'7". Cole, you guys can sleep with each other.
Is that how that works?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's not for kids. This is not for
It's
kids.
if you're the same height. If they're shorter than you, no.
Okay, what if they're taller than me?
Good luck. Tall people
Remember-
don't like. Tall girls don't. Well, do tall
It's
girls
true.
like short guys?
Not Reddit. Tinder, they're always like, if you're under 6 foot,
Nope.
swipe left.
Get out of here.
Hey guys,
That's
True.
true.
wait, let me do
I'm
that
not
bit
lying.
again. Hey guys,
Come on.
remember, this is not for kids, but it is Christian.
Excuse, put it back. You're laughing? Okay.
He laughs about it.
I'm glad you're laughing at your own joke.
He got really
Dude,
excited
don't
about
you
that.
get it?
What?
He healed
Did
him.
you ever read the Bible?
How he healed you?
Hey, can I make a
No.
joke? Can I make a
Remember?
joke?
Never. What is that?
So a guy cut off this guard's ear, and then Jesus put it back.
Oh, I thought
Good
you
job,
cut off his
Dan.
head though.
No, I
I
cut off
didn't see
his
you cut off the
ear.
ear. Yeah,
But
that was
it's Chri-
Peter.
But it's Christian, so
Peter
Yeah.
chopped off the ear.
Yeah.
Good job, Thane. Thank you.
And because Peter's like, I'm gonna kill these guys. he's just like, what are you doing? We don't kill people.
Hey, I'm
Well, my
Peter.
question is,
I'm
like,
Peter.
did
Hey,
he
Peter.
miss and he hacked his ear off, or did he walk up? And
That's a
just,
real good question.
like
that's
in
a
my
real good
mind. In my
question.
mind, when I read it, I'm like, whoa, like he missed.
Jesus
bad.
also said, "Don't bring weapons with us." And Peter brought a
You have anything on your
sword. Dude,
What?
Peter's
You have socks
Peter's
on?
the homie.
No.
He's the real homie.
It does
I
say-
like Peter.
They got fruit on theirs. Wish we had something
So-
on ours.
Two things real
Sucks
quick.
for us.
My socks are better than yours, Day.
No, they're not.
Prove
Mine,
it.
Mine are tie dye.
Ew.
Mine don't have fruit on them.
What's Thane's socks?
Natural.
Nothing.
Oh.
He's got hair socks.
Socks.
Natural. He's got feet
He's
socks.
got hair socks.
So I see you got Danky Kang on your feet, Skylar. And while we were over the break for Thanksgiving, you sent a picture of those socks.
Mm-hmm.
I did not get the joke you were trying to send to me.
I forgot what the joke what was. It, you said?
It was on the wrapper.
What was the wrapper? I'll look it up. I have a picture
Okay.
too.
I have two things that I wanted to say before Cole rudely interrupted me twice.
I didn't interrupt
There's-
you.
Oh, so
You're
it
doing
was
it
a-
again.
I spoke. Now I.
Oh, it
am,
said they
but
were
I-
adult socks.
I was able to speak before.
Oh,
you.
not for
No,
kids.
no, no. You
Yeah.
spoke after I said
Nice.
I have two things, and then you
I
jumped
got it.
in. Oh, I like
didn't
Zay
think it was
socks.
that funny.
Thank God
Adult
it's
crew.
not for kids.
Or is it the adult tube?
Read it. Read what does it say?
It says adult crew, adulte tube.
And I say and didn't I say not for kids?
Oh,
'Cause
just
it's
it says adult.
Adult.
Yeah.
And you were making the.
I mean,
fun
I
of
got the joke, but I didn't think it
Cop-out.
was funny.
OSHA.
Yes, OSHA.
Because it says it's not for kids, but it's a kid's item, basically.
Yes, that's what it was. It was a
Dainty
conundrum.
cane can be for any age.
Yeah.
I'm really
You
good at
keep telling
cutting off
yourself
Sky
that,
tonight. I
Cole.
just
You
noticed.
keep
Yeah.
telling yourself that, Cole.
See, now
He's
he
in
notices
denial.
that he's doing it.
He's in
I'm sorry,
denial.
Sky.
It's all right. I don't forgive you.
What's your beanie?
I won it at my party yesterday.
Well, what's Trophy Depot?
It's
You
a
just got
place.
doxed.
Yeah, it's
I doxed his beanie.
not a sponsor.
Where's beanies from?
Okay, so two things. My boss made this joke yesterday, but there was a guy that sings Christmas music.
Michael Bubble.
Not Michael Bublé, and it's not Frank Sinatra. Maybe you guys can help me.
I know who
Sinatra
it
doesn't
is.
sing Christmas.
Bing Crosby.
No, it's like a country singer, maybe. Not Toby
Jason
Keith.
Aldean.
No,
Toby Maguire.
What's the song he sings?
I don't know. He just sings Christmas music.
What do you
picked that
mean?
up?
There's
Anyway,
so many people
I don't
that do
know.
Christmas
I don't know.
music.
But my
The
my
person that's other mom kissing Santa
Yeah.
Claus underneath the mistletoe last night.
my boss didn't really like him. She's like, yeah, he's not my favorite, and I don't know why he's singing Christmas music because he's a Jew.
Oh,
Neil Diamond?
It's not Neil Diamond.
He's a Jew.
But he said country.
Oh.
Not
No,
Neil Diamond.
Neil
Maybe
Diamond's
he's
a
not a
Jew.
country musician, but
No, but country. He's talking about country.
oh,
it
musician.
might not be a
That's
country
why.
musician though. But
Oh,
she she said that, and everyone's
roasted.
like, oh, and then we all started laughing, dude, because she's like the sweet, innocent little Christian lady, and
Is it Ben Sekiro?
yeah,
It's gotta be Ben Sharp Cheddar. Yeah,
yeah. Anyway, she made that joke. It was funny.
that's
But
pretty funny.
going back to the Disney guy that I always wanted to be was, well, I guess it's
Phil
Nickelodeon.
Collins.
Was
Oh.
it was Nat Wolf from the Naked Brothers band, because I remember this
Oh,
one
really?
time there was an episode where he had jeans, but he cut one leg off, so he had like jean shorts
He was
on
cool.
one leg and then the long pants on the other. So I cut my jeans like that and got made fun of.
I believe
So
it.
I realized,
What do
I'm
you
like,
expect?
I don't know. I was like, I guess it's not cool. I was like 9 or 10 maybe.
I have another
Oh.
one I always wanted to be. I always wanted to be Zach and Cody.
Which one?
Cody.
Because he gets all the girls.
Cody didn't get the girls.
Zach got the
did.
girls, but Cody was a smarter
Cody
one.
kissed a lot
That's
of girls.
why I liked
bro.
Cody.
Cody
Oh,
kissed
okay. 'Cause he
Victoria
was the smart
Justice.
Did he really?
He really did.
Oh my gosh, I want to be
What,
Cody
in
so
an
bad.
episode?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
He kissed her, and he also kissed
Did he
Debbie
kiss
Ryan.
London Tipton?
I don't think he kissed.
What's
London
really
Tipton.
funny is
London
that
Tipton.
Cody was the one that wasn't named Cole. Zach was, and I wanted to be the one that wasn't named my name,
Nice.
or wasn't originally
Dude.
named.
Do you know what I didn't know at the time? What I didn't realize is that London Tipton is just a funny way to make fun of Paris Hilton.
Yeah.
Correct.
I didn't know
Yeah.
that at the time. I
Yeah.
didn't even think. I guess I didn't know who Paris Hilton was, but now I think of. I'm like, wow,
Yeah. It's
well,
clever.
kids don't
isn't
know
it?
that.
That's true.
Who's gonna know who
Dude,
Paris
the
Hilton is at
OG
like 10 or
the
9?
OG girls in Zach and Cody were like gorgeous back
Maddie.
in my day. I was like, oh my god.
Pizza rolls are done.
Now I gotta put them in the oven.
Oh.
Well,
When your pizza rolls are
I'll be
done.
back.
Brenda's
Pizza roll
song
power.
sucked Andrew Garfield's Wing Wong in The Social Network.
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
straight up. Like there's a scene where they're at a club and it was Brenda's song and Andrew Garfield and they're dancing and then they go in the bathroom and then they're in the bathroom starting. She slowly goes down and you're like, oh, he's getting some.
Yeah.
That's a really weird combination.
The-
Andrew Garfield and one of your childhood heroes.
yeah.
Thing were you, was she your childhood hero?
No, I just
Thing were you like, London Tipton, shame.
No, it's not London Tipton. It was her. Yeah, it was, wasn't it? The
Brenda
Asian
song.
chick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. What was?
The Asian
What,
chick.
I was thinking of Sharpay from High School Musical for some
That's
reason. 'cause
Maddie.
That's the
Her name's
blonde
Maddie.
chick.
Yeah.
What's
Ashley
her real
Tisdale.
name?
Ashley
Ashley
Tisdale, yeah.
Tisdale. I always forget her name.
She also played that Sharpay
She
on.
bops to the top.
Yeah.
I
I don't know the rest of the
Living la
words.
vida loca.
What?
That's what it sounds like.
Shrek? Streaking Shrek now?
Turn around and
What? Did you say
Zay,
turn around and
you've
beat
seen
that?
you've seen the Social
I was
Network,
like,
right?
whoa, Sky. It's really easy not
Yeah,
for
you remember the
kids.
scene where Andrew Garfield got
I
his
was just a mumbling.
pipe,
Yeah, that's what they
pipe
all
cleaned.
say.
Yeah, pipe cleaned by Brenda.
You don't
Song.
like the
I
mumble?
remember that scene.
I'm not a big
Yeah.
fan of mumble rap.
It was
no.
at the
Oh,
club.
okay.
There's two conversations
yeah.
going on,
Is
so I
she
really
like-
feel
was
bad
she
for
in the movie
viewers.
that much, or just
Uh,
This guy hates kids.
She was like in
That's why
another
this show's
scene
not for
where
kids.
it's like, I'm breaking up with you
Oh,
because they were
okay.
dating apparently.
Gotcha.
Hopefully, any of you are able to get anything out of those conversations that me and Sky are having and Zane.
Well,
Taylor.
I'm not gonna lie, Cole.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you and I dominated it because we talk louder than Zane.
We talk
Taylor
into
do.
our microphones, actually.
Fuck you, man.
Hey, I'm talking to my microphone right now.
Your what? Your microphone?
Zane's mic fell. He's not even gonna fix it. He's just like, whatever. I don't need it.
It sucks because it keeps falling.
Just tighten it.
I think they should make a social
Tighten
network
and tighten as
too,
much as you want.
based off
It'll
of
never be.
the
It'll never be as
North
tight as.
Tight,
It'll never be as
exactly.
tight as it was day one.
Exactly.
Okay.
Not for
for kids.
kids.
Jinx.
Give me the. Yeah. That's the new. That's what she said.
Yeah, I'm
Not for
still a
kids.
virgin. Get wrecked.
Ooh. I'd dab to that.
Oh, you're still a vegan too?
Yeah.
You're a vegan?
Vegan, V card, yeah.
Thane, you a vegan? I know you're a vegan, Thane. Zay, you a vegan?
Yeah.
He's a vegetarian.
I have Virgin Mobile as my carrier.
Yeah.
That's why it's so bad to get a hold of you.
That's true. I'm pretty slippery. You can't get a hold of me.
But if you, that doesn't make sense though, because you wouldn't be on Virgin Mobile if that were the case.
Did your thing let me?
Thane knows he's tried. He's tried.
Okay. Oh, I don't really want to dampen up the pod. Keep going. Keep going.
Dampen
So
up.
I got
some sad news.
You got sad news.
Oh,
I
about
do.
Jaywa.
Yeah, I just keep going. I don't really want to dampen up the mood.
We'll do sad news at the end because I got a
Okay,
sad
okay.
story
I'll say
after
it
this
at the
fun
end.
stuff.
Okay, we'll do that.
So I was listening to a podcast earlier this week, and they reminded me of something that I have not thought about since I was in grade school, and that was the Scholastic Book Club.
I
Good
was
stuff,
just
dude.
talking about this the
No
other
way,
day.
really?
Yeah, I think I was
Scholastic
talking to him.
News.
Yeah,
It was on. I was
gnarly.
when we were playing Halo. I brought it up and nobody responded to me.
Bro,
so I was
Really?
just like, wow.
They probably
Okay.
didn't
I don't
hear
even
you.
remember that.
They probably muted you, honestly.
We were talking. I
don't
can't even
need
remember
them.
what we were talking
You
about.
wish.
But I'm like,
Can't. You're just not able to mute.
we were talking about something. I can't remember what it was.
So anyway, I wanted to educate the younger viewers that don't know what the Scholastic Book Club is, because this was probably one of the greatest parts about going to school when we were in grade school. Thane, you had Scholastic Book Club too, didn't you?
Yeah.
Okay. So what we would get once a month, we'd get these newspaper clippings almost, papers.
It's like a little magazine. Thing.
Yeah, like a little magazine. And they had books and little toys and stuff that went with books and stuff. And you would take it home, like, Mom, I need $7.50 so I can buy the new Magic Treehouse book.
Mm-hmm.
And she'd be like, okay. And then you fill out your little
Okay.
paper and you put the money in the envelope and then you give it to your teacher. Then about a month later, you'd come into school and see this big old box with the Scholastic logo on it. And you about creamed your pants, but you couldn't because you were in kindergarten.
You're like
basically.
9.
So
you don't know what that
emotionally,
is.
you did.
Emotionally,
Yeah,
you did.
emotionally,
It was like
yeah.
Christmas.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was amazing. And they, I don't know how it was with every other school, but for our school specifically, they had every little order wrapped up in Saran wrap, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thank you for confirming, Sky. I appreciate
I
that.
remember.
They had they'd give you your order wrapped in the Saran wrap. You take it all out and be like, well, now kids, you can't play with your stuff until after the
School's out.
school's out. So that always sucked, but
I remember. Oh, sorry.
No, go
I
ahead.
remember going to the fair when they
The
had
book
it all
fair,
set
yeah.
up in the gym.
Yep. that's when
And
Scholastic would come to
I
you.
would go with my mom, and she'd buy. I remember this one time. I still have them actually. She bought me the whole box set of Series of Unfortunate Events.
Oh,
All
really?
12.
The
You
hard-
have there's
hardcover
12.
one?
I have them all.
Do you have 'em
Hardcover?
here?
Yeah, I have every single book.
Was it
Bro,
the
I'd
hardcover
love
one?
to read them
I
again.
think they're all soft.
Oh.
I think the first two are hard, and the rest are.
Because they had
for
that, they
whatever
had a
reason.
hardcover series set,
Yeah.
and I was like, man, those books are so cool looking. I never read them.
My
They're
mom,
good, dude.
they're
I
good
love
books.
them.
I believe
My
it.
mom bought me the whole whole set. Awesome.
So I wanted to go down the line and ask you about your most memorable orders from the Scholastic
Shoot, that was
Club.
it. I'm just kidding.
Um,
Honestly, yeah.
I'll start while you guys think. Okay.
All right.
because I've been thinking about this all week. So,
He's got a head start.
one thing I buy almost once every year, I would buy the video game cheat codes books.
That's exactly what we were talking about when I brought up Scholastic
PlayStation
for
2.
Halo.
There was one for PlayStation 2. I totally remember that.
Yeah.
I got that.
And it had like the picture of like the console that'd work with. It'd be like I think the books were called like secret codes or something like
Yeah.
that.
And you go to the back of the book and it has like every game that
Every game that the
every
codes
game
were
that
in
they
there.
wanted to
Yep.
cooperate with. Usually like not like GTA or anything like that.
So like you would see like Tony Hawk Pro Skater
Yeah.
big head codes and
Yeah.
stuff like that. I loved it, dude. That was so awesome.
cool.
I loved
I
getting
remember
those
that code.
codes. And then the other thing that I remember the most that I've ever gotten, I don't know what it came with, because anytime you got a toy, they always repaired the book so that they could sell the toy essentially. Anyway, the toy that I got was like one of those fake hand buzzers when you go to shake someone's hand.
Oh yeah.
But obviously, it was very, very easy to tell what you were doing because it's like it's a
You're
big
like-
old honking piece of
and you're like
plastic,
8.
and
like,
you're I shake my hand.
it's like kids don't shake hands like.
And it's like this ring that you can see like a mile away because it's like on your hand, and then like big old giant piece of plastic. You have to like get them.
More likely than not, you're not married or you're not wearing your wedding ring to school.
Yes, no.
At the ripe young age
And the
of
thing
7.
is about this specific one though is it wasn't electricity. It was like I had to wind it up, and if you
Oh
press
my
it, it would go because it unwind.
Yeah.
That's all it did. I was really disappointed when I got it, but I still used it a lot just to try
Clickbaited
to get
you.
it. Yeah, they clickbaited me so
That's
hard
lame.
back in the day, dude.
That's funny. I could just imagine this little you just walking up.
I did it on the bus a lot.
Have a nice day, Mrs. Wilkins.
I got a quick little story about Cole. I remember this. Cole me and him both got really upset one time. But the guy that wrote the freaking, what's his name? It's like something Gary. He wrote those books. He wrote children's books. Anyway,
Junie B. Jones.
Yeah, it was Junie B. Jones.
She wrote that?
Yeah,
He
the
wrote
guy. I'm pretty sure it was the guy that came
He went to the school, right?
Yeah, he came to the school and he gave a speech, and he would hand out like these little tokens, and it's like, oh, save up your tokens. He was trying to teach us how to save money, and so
That's
he gave out
cool.
5, and I remember me and Cole both kept our 5 when everyone's like, oh, here, do you want to buy a pencil? Well, that costs 2. Do you want to buy a candy? Well, that costs 1. So me and Cole saved up 5, and at the very end, and he's like, but hey, if you saved up 5, you can buy this big bouncy ball. And he only gave it to a couple kids. And I remember how freaking pissed Cole was.
Cole's like, no, I saved
Cole's
mine.
like, dude, this sucks. I saved 5, and I don't even get my ball. Do you remember that?
I don't.
Dude, I remember that. That stuck with me. I'm
Was
like,
that was that like 4th, 5th grade?
no, it was at Mountain View. I remember we were in the
Really?
gym.
Dude.
We were in the gym, and I remembered like how upset you were. And
That's probably why I can't remember because it was Mountain View. I don't have a lot of memories from Mountain
That
View.
stuck
blocked out
with me.
those
Most of my
memories.
memories are from White Pine.
Right on.
Other than like the Scholastic News Book Fair, that'll be other than the White Pine version, but like the
Yeah.
ones we like mail in orders,
What about noon games?
huh?
That's White Pine.
That was White Pine. Noon Games was awesome. Yeah, it was fun to be a ref because
like a rep.
yeah, I knew I was bad at sports at this point, so I like to be the ref.
Oh.
I was.
So anyone
It
that
was
was
a
mean to you,
it was a
just had-
power complex. I
Yeah.
feel like I had so much power.
all the kids that were mean to you, you're like, hey.
Yeah.
Travel.
I was one of the kids that'd get their lunch on as soon as they could, so they could run down and be the ref. Because you'd only let the first 3 kids that got there first be the ref.
Dude, what a cool idea. When I think about it, what a cool idea.
Let little 9-year-olds ref 9-year-olds.
Oh,
I remember I studied at basketball rules so that I could
You did?
a little bit, yeah. So I would know what I'm
Should we
doing.
go through this and then we'll talk about that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got
Dude,
some
that's
funny
so
noon
awesome.
game stories. Noon games is basketball, by the way. Lunch. It was basketball at lunch in the gym.
Class first class.
Yeah.
It was great.
Anyway, so mine is kind of dumb because my mom never ever bought me Scholastic anything. There's not one thing that I ever got from Scholastic. So I lived my Scholastic dream through Zay. And it was the two things that he got all the time.
Yeah.
The two things that Zay got all the time is he got the cheat code books, which were phenomenal because he only got the PlayStation one that I can remember, but it was still so much fun. We would study those books and we'd have the cheats memorized.
I used the Lego Star Wars on the
Someone
lot.
would be
Yeah,
sitting
it was
next-
Lego Star Wars.
Someone would be sitting next to the person playing and then be like, hey, this is the code. And then they'd say it to him while they're typing it in and
Yeah.
then they'd get it.
So he got that, and then he always had these I Spy books that we would always
I
do.
remember those.
And that was the dream, dude. But I remember, like how you said kids would cream when they see the boxes. Well, it would just make me sad because all these kids would have, they'd have books and toys and pencils,
posters
and posters and erasers. I remember this one kid had a Pokemon poster, dude, and I was so pissed because he was like, "Hey, look at this!" He's like shoving it in my face. I'm like, "Get out, bro! Like this, I'm sad. I want that."
Sad.
But never ever did I ever once get anything from Scholastic. And I remember I got to the point where I would just grab my magazine and throw it in the garbage because I knew my mom wouldn't. She's just like, "No, that's stupid. We'll go to the store and buy something." We never did.
Dang,
though.
that's rough.
But yeah, she's just like, "Oh, this is stupid." So,
Granted, whenever I bought stuff, I had to like use like my saved up money that I got from my allowance stuff. Only very once in a while I get my mom to buy something. Like when Hunger Games, when those books first came out and like started getting popular. This is when we were junior high, by the way. I read the first one somewhere. I don't know how I got it.
Wait, what was the story called?
Hunger Games.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so I told my mom, and she just gave me money right then and there. She's like, "Yeah, I want to read those too when you're done." And so she just gave me money, and I was like, "Okay." So I got the money.
Right.
My mom's into those. She read all the Twilight books, and my sisters were reading them too with her. And I don't know if she ever really read the Harry Potters, but she was into like that kind of stuff with with my sisters. Really, I think it's how she connected with them.
So she wanted to bond with you then.
Yeah,
reading the Hunger
maybe.
Games. That's cool.
nice. Yeah, that was my Scholastic book fair
I
failure.
feel bad for you, Sky.
I didn't know any
It
different.
was kind of fun to at least get one though, you know.
I can't remember. Maybe my mom did, but it wasn't an effect on my life. I feel like I just blocked it out because of how
How many
upset
times
it
you were
made
let
me.
down?
Yeah, because it was like once a month. I swear, dude.
It was once a month.
Yeah,
that's
it's
exactly
like,
what it was.
It was like 9 times a year. I just get disappointed. So it's like, well,
It was just a fun time looking through them, even if you didn't get to order anything. It was just fun to look at all the stuff inside of it. I think.
I know. I'd always look and I'd be like, wow, I can't get
Couldn't
that.
You get
I
to,
can't
didn't you
get
get to
that.
check it?
Yeah.
You had to check it.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
remember doing that. Even if I didn't get anything, I just like, I want that. I want that.
Yeah.
I didn't even. I just throw it away. I didn't even do it.
That was me.
I
Pretty
remember
much.
that. I remember that.
Do you got any good memories, Zay, of you purchasing?
Dude, honestly, probably the only one would be the series of unfortunate events. I think that's it. I don't remember anything else.
Okay.
What about you, Thane?
So I'm not sure if this was Scholastic. I'm pretty sure it was, but I remember buying a. This isn't a good memory, by the way.
Oh.
But this is a memory. So remember, I bought I have a good one coming up too. So I remember there was a. Do you remember the show Beakman? Like
No.
with that guy with scientist with the crazy hair, and they had like the mouse assistant.
I'd have to
The
see
guy in the
it.
Yeah, I'd have to look at it
yeah.
too.
Well, I didn't really watch the show either. I was just aware of it. And there was a science kit. It was like a Beakman science kit, which like you can like power like make electrical thing through a potato or something. Make a clock work with a potato. And so I open it. It's like, Mom, let's do it. And so we look through it. Read the instructions and says, son, we can't do this. There's a piece missing. Like, there's no piece here. And I was like, what? It's like, yeah, we can't do it. It's like, oh, and I was so disappointed. I wanted to see it.
Do you guys like try to get a refund or anything?
No, we just kind of threw it in the corner. If I was older,
Oh my gosh.
if I was older and like I said, wait, there's a piece missing, I'd call or email or anything, just like, hey, there's a piece missing from my freaking science kit.
Give me my
Aw.
money
Yeah.
back.
Give my money back, or give me a piece for it so it worked. I don't know if it would have worked. Might have broke after one use. I don't know. But anyways,
That's sad.
yeah. And the next one I got was so for some reason when so Viz Media, the manga publisher, they had this magazine you could go buy from stores called Shonen Jump.
Yep.
And it had all them. It had Dragon Ball Z, it had Naruto, it had One
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Piece in
That's
there.
how I knew about it.
Yeah, and Yu-Gi-Oh.
They
Yeah,
had, they had
and-
exclusive cards sometimes.
yeah, and one thing to note: this really wasn't for kids. It was for teenagers. But Scholastic probably didn't get the memo about that.
They just saw
Oh, yeah.
animation.
Yeah, they saw
They were
animation.
totally
It's like,
in
hey, this is
there.
popular on TV. So I got it. It's like, Mom, can I get this? Because it had Dragon Ball Z on it. It had a bunch of different other manga. And this was before Naruto was adapted. So, like, when they were serializing it, this was like the the first arc, the one with Zabuza and
Mhm.
yeah. So and specifically it's the chapter after the first fight with Zabuza when Haku, is that
Mhm.
his name,
Haku.
goes and claims the body.
Yep.
And
God,
Can you believe how much this guy knows about
Yeah.
Naruto?
He knows so much about the first arc. I've
Yeah.
talked to him about it. He doesn't know anything else about
Yeah.
other stuff though.
Yeah, I remember there was like since it was rated teen and it's uncut, there was like language like, what? They swear in this?
Mhm.
And there's like blood too, and it's like, whoa, this is not for kids. This is so cool.
You know, that's probably got to be like the year 2000 or 2001. Then
Yeah.
that's kind of crazy. That
I think it was when I was in
You can pinpoint this time in your life.
Yeah.
Even if you don't remember like the year, you can pinpoint just because of a series. It's really cool.
Yeah.
I think.
I agree.
also because I looked a few years back after I looked back, what chapter was that? I saw, oh, it's this one. That's cool.
Do you still have that Shonen Jump?
I have no idea.
That would have been cool if you did.
Now,
The
a long
OG.
time ago,
Seriously?
Shonen Jump, the magazine that was, it's gone. They've all moved to digital now.
Which
And
is
that's
cool,
why-
right?
Yeah, that's where I read it all. They have an app for $2 a month. I just read all of One Piece and Naruto and all that stuff.
Have you read
But-
Naruto?
What? I just caught up with One Piece.
So you're gonna start Naruto,
Yeah, after One Punch Man, because that one's pretty easy to read.
and then what's after One Punch Man?
Probably Naruto.
Okay.
So I gotta tell you a little bit more about like cheat codes and stuff, because I feel like it's like a fun little topic. While Zay is gone, we can get back to
Yeah.
other stuff later.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So of course we had those cheat guide books, but there was one place on the internet. This is really before I knew much about the internet. Me and my brother knew about one internet site that we could get cheat codes for any game.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that website was called Cheat Planet. Have you guys heard of that?
I've never heard
No.
of Cheat Planet.
Cheatplanet.com.
I remember looking up cheat codes. I just look up a random site. I wouldn't remember the sites.
I didn't know how to
knew-
use like Google or anything, so I was
I
just typed in
knew-
cheatplanet.com. Nowadays that website domain will direct you to Games Radar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I'm sure you guys heard of
That's
that
a
one before.
publication.
Similar thing.
Yeah,
It's like
it's
a
similar. They don't
news
have cheat
publication.
codes anymore,
Yeah.
but
Oh, they don't?
I loved like looking up just the specific game and the specific cheat code and then entering them like XXBBYYA, whatever, all that.
Yeah, all the
Cheat
GTA
Planet.
cheat
So cool,
codes.
dude. Cheat Planet.
Yeah.
There's a website called Wayback Machine, and that'd be a really cool one to go onto is cheatplanet.com just to like have a nostalgic
Yeah.
trip for me. I might do that.
Can I do it?
We're going
with
to
you?
join it.
Okay.
Join you.
Okay.
Do you guys remember? Speaking of old websites, do you guys remember the first website you guys ever went to? Like, I honestly can't. I can't remember.
Honestly,
I didn't
think the
really
farthest back remember is probably Cheat Planet.
see. I don't really remember rocking the web.
AddictingGames.com.
I remember doing that. I
I
remember
did that at
Addicting
school
Games.
though. and
Yeah,
I
I
was a lot
never-
older at that
Here's the thing.
point.
Everyone talked about Cool Math Games. I never went on Cool Math
Never.
Games.
Addicting Games. That's where I went.
Yeah.
I went
And
to
then
both.
everyone was like, oh, Cool Math Games. Like, that was a popular website too, apparently.
Dude, I remember we had... I had 2 discs for the computer. Our computer's so old. I remember a pinball game.
Yep.
And then I remember Monsters, Inc.
What is funny about that pinball game?
I had both of those.
That pinball game was actually just a demo for the actual game because you probably only had one level, huh?
Oh, maybe I didn't even realize.
Yeah, I didn't realize this until much later that was a demo for the whole game. The whole game had like
works.
had
It
like
was
seven
free.
levels or
I mean,
something. Yeah,
I didn't
I played
notice.
so
I was
much
like,
about
you know what,
that.
I'm gonna try to get a high score.
had the little spaceman and stuff.
Yeah.
And my little kid like creativity brain said, if I can get to 10,000 points, this spaceman will be able to go home. He will be able to. He
You're
was
worried
here-
about his well-being.
He was waiting. He was waiting for me to. Every point I got was like adding fuel to his space car.
Dude.
And if I got to
that's
10,000, he
hilarious.
could go home. That was always my thought. I never got to 10,000. You never got to go
'Cause you
home.
lose and resets.
Wait, are we talking about the one where it usually comes with the Windows?
Yeah, it's on
the-
Windows XP. Yep.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's what I would play.
It's like the black one, right? It's a black space one.
Yep.
Yeah.
It showed the little character on the side.
Yeah.
That was
The character
fun.
barely moved, but I built
I
his whole
remember that.
backstory in my head. Like he has a wife and kids back on the planet Leptonian. No, I made that up right there, but
Leptonian.
I just knew that I needed 10,000 or maybe it was 100,000. I just needed that many points to get this guy home.
Unrealistic number to be able to send him home.
I had to do it. I couldn't do it.
See, my first introduction really to what the internet could do, because I really thought computers, all I ever saw my dad use his computer for was drafting.
Mm-hmm.
And so I thought computers were for drawing stuff and then playing games. Like the 2 games we had the pinball game, we had Solitaire, and we had another one called Lemmings. Fun game, by the way. Really hard.
Like
but-
the movie.
Lemmings, like where you have like there's like 100 little guys that you have to create a
Yeah.
path to get to the exit.
Oh.
Yeah.
But
I remember
anyway,
that
I
game.
guess my first introduction really, I remember going to Zay's house when he first got a MySpace, and he would like show me what MySpace
Oh
was.
my gosh, that's so dumb.
And I didn't really understand like what it was, like a profile. People can come visit this and follow you. Like it didn't really click. But my first introduction to the internet was when I started playing Xbox Live. When I realized that there's other people on planet Earth that I
Really?
can, yeah. And that was like what,
existed.
2007?
2007, 2008.
Yeah.
Unless you got Xbox Live on the original Xbox.
No,
Okay.
but like
'Cause that would have been like 2005.
prior to that, we
6.
didn't have the internet, dude. We watched VHSs and DVDs for entertainment.
Yeah, that's really what it was. I mean, so here to put it in perspective, like we had the internet at my house, but it was dial-up, and so it was so slow, it wasn't even worth really doing anything. So when my sisters had like school projects that they had to use the internet to like look stuff up, we'd go into town and go to my aunt's house because she had cable internet. And like I remember watching the page load so fast, I'm like, my goodness, this is insane. Nowadays you click on it and boom, it's there.
Yeah.
And it's just like you expect that. But back then it's like, holy cow.
Or
that
if it
only
doesn't
took
happen,
like
you
10
get upset.
seconds. I normally wait 2 minutes for a page to load.
Yeah.
Cole gets so upset if it doesn't load within 5 seconds.
Yeah, that's just how it's kind of trained us to do that at this point.
Pretty much.
It's a crazy world, dude.
Yeah. Go ahead, sorry.
I don't know. I was going to say anything. Sorry.
Well, like I remember my little brother, he complains that the internet sucks at my parents' house cuz it like disconnects sometimes.
yeah.
And I'm
Still
like,
really good.
oh yeah, but I'm like, Slade, like he asked me like, what'd you do for fun growing up? Like, what did you used to do? Because we didn't have the internet. I'm like, dude, we watched TV, movies, played outside. I mean, we still had an N64, so we still played our fair share of games. But
Like, I remember when I first got Xbox Live, if our home phone would start ringing, I would get disconnected every single time from Xbox Live. It got to the point where I'd be playing with my friends on Halo 3, and I hear my phone start ringing. Within the first ring, I just start yelling, "Guys, my phone's ringing!" And then boom, disconnected from Xbox Live. So they would hear
Don't
me.
answer!
Yeah, if they answered, that's what it would be.
Mom, Dad, don't
Wait.
answer the phone!
So my friends would hear me say, "My phone's ringing," so they knew I'd be disconnected within seconds. It was really crazy.
Your parents still had dial-up?
It wasn't dial-up though. I don't know why.
Oh.
I couldn't tell you why it connected because it was a different provider even entirely.
that is weird. Maybe it's
That's
something to do with the
weird.
frequencies.
That's
Were you
weird.
using wireless?
It was definitely, it was wireless. And here's another one that's really weird. This is something that Jake had. Whenever someone would open up his front door, he would disconnect to Xbox Live.
What?
It wasn't 100% of the time, but it was like maybe 75% of the time. If he's playing Xbox Live in his room and someone would open up the front door, it would disconnect him from Xbox Live.
Wow.
And I remember if Grandpa farted, the whole house would just black out. I don't know why.
I'm not lying.
I know, but like it just sounds so
It
weird.
does.
Why
It
do
really
that.
does. And that's just the way the technology was back then. It's
Yeah.
just weird.
Unreliable.
My-
My
my
parents
thought-
ever tried to show me love, it would just shut down.
That's why my dad beat me.
My thought is that like Wi-Fi was like some like providers is like so bizarre how it connected that one like thing
Yep. got it. I
factor
understand.
just
I don't.
completely shut it down.
No, well, you want to know what did me in? Is for the first year or two that I had Xbox Live, maybe 3, I don't know. It was really good because no one else used the internet. Phones.
And you got to use the Ethernet cord. You
Yeah,
gotta plug
cell
it in.
phones didn't connect to internet. Like my parents had Dish Network, and
No one needed the internet.
yeah, no one needed the
Wonderful.
internet, so it was good for me. And then that bastard red N, the bastard red N word, came into our lives and ended. It ended my internet career.
You know-
it was Netflix.
Kind of speaking on Netflix, did you guys subscribe to Netflix before it was a streaming service?
Nope, but our grandparents
Yeah,
did.
I remember that you did.
My-
My grandparents used to get the discs.
They still do.
Oh,
My parents
never
did.
We did. We definitely did. So we were all onto Netflix before the streaming happened.
Mhm.
Are you a hipster? Is what you're trying to say?
No.
I
what,
remember when the streaming came about because my dad got like an email from Netflix saying like, "Hey, if you download this app on like your iPad or something like that or go on the computer, you can stream TV shows and you don't have to have the disc anymore." And we were just like, What?
Why is that
Like,
even a thing? It's
How
not
can
going
we do
anywhere.
that? Yeah, it's not going to go anywhere. It's going to be slow.
Yeah.
We're
No
on
one
dial-up,
wants it.
basically. Just give us the discs. So it took us a year to switch before we switched over. Part of it
Way to
because our
hold
internet
on.
was bad.
Way to hold on to that physical integrity.
And I just remember, like, ordering Pokemon Heroes every like month on Netflix. And then because you could only have 2 discs at a time.
Yeah.
And like my dad or my brother or my sisters would like move them around in order, so I would never get my crap because they always like setting theirs up high on
yeah,
the
I
list.
see.
You can set him at the back of the. Oh, that's messed
And
up.
so I'm like, "Where's my Pokemon? This is supposed to be the week I get it."
Like I ordered it 3 months ago.
You probably hated Netflix then.
It wasn't bad though, because typically like one slot was always like dedicated to be the movie that we would like order for the weekend or whatever.
Yeah.
It was really really
So
interesting to do Netflix stuff.
So I'm wondering, have they killed the?
No, it's still around
It
technically.
is.
Yeah,
Wow.
no.
I
thing.
don't think you can get it anymore. You have to have it from back in the day, I think, though.
Well, yeah, I think our grandparents still sometimes get. I don't know if they do it anymore, but like I swear, like a year ago, they were still getting CDs.
I think you can't get a new subscription of it, though. I think you can
Mhm.
only have it if you had it for many, many years.
Yeah.
I remember GameFly.
Yeah, game.
Yeah.
Is that still around?
So yeah,
It's around.
I saw an
Not the
ad.
same kind of way it does it, though, no.
Is it digital now?
You can only buy stuff from them. It's just
So-
become like a used video game
Yeah.
place.
GameStop.
That's sad, bro.
Online
went down.
GameStop, basically.
Bro, I think
Yeah.
they're cheap. I think the games are cheap.
They're very, very cheap.
Yeah.
That's
We
one of the
should-
things that Flamed always tells me about.
we should look on
On
there.
GameStop?
GameFly.
No, I had a
GameFly.
guy that came and bought my parents' workout machine, and I talked to him, and he says he has like 100 games, and he collected them over a year because he would get like 2 games free every single time from GameFly. Like
Yeah.
he would buy them. I don't know what he did, but he
you
said
can
he got
get
a
a
lot.
subscription of it, and it gets you free games and then like really cheap like deals.
You gonna keep them?
Mhm.
So, let me tell you about my GameFly experience. So
Did you actually have an account with
yeah, I
them?
did.
Wow.
So for about a year or two,
We can tell you
Like-
something illegal after this too.
I kept getting games. Like if it depends on availability. But if it was not available, it just send the next game. So
yeah, that's what they do with Netflix as well.
yeah. So this was working well for about a year, and then, so for some reason, even though the game would say high availability, because they wouldn't like do it by like available now or just like maybe available, they'd just be like low availability, high availability, medium availability. That's what they'd say because it'd be vague.
Yeah.
It's like just say if it's available now or not.
Quit dancing around it.
Yeah.
I
Very
think
to
the
the
reason
point.
why they had that was because they didn't know when people were going to send them back. And so they expected people to send them back by then because they did have like due dates. I know Netflix did anyway. I'm assuming GameFly probably had due dates as well.
Yeah.
You could probably keep extending it and like saying like, "Hey, I'm extending this," but they would have a date that said like, "Okay, get it to us by this date," or tell us that you're not going to, basically.
Yeah.
So I'm
Or just
assuming
buy
that's
it
probably
from
why.
us. Yeah, you can buy it from them. I remember.
Yeah, you could do that.
So,
Oops.
I'd sometimes get a game and it said medium availability. All right, it sent like the 5th game down from what I wanted. It just kept doing this, and then I eventually stopped playing games from GameFly because I had enough money to like buy games from our local play and trade. It's like I'm not really using this anymore, so I just canceled it. That was it.
Good move.
Very
Learn
good
something
move.
illegal involving gameplay.
Remember,
It
there's a
wasn't
lot
us
of
though.
games.
It wasn't us. We just
Yeah.
knew someone.
There's a lot of games I played that I could like. My mom wouldn't let me get my M-rated games, so I just secretly get them from GameFly, and I wouldn't play them when she's not around.
What
Remember, I
was the-
played Resident Evil 4 on Wii. Remember, I played
On
like
the Wii?
yeah, the
That's
Wii
what
version.
I have it on.
Yeah,
That's the best
because-
version.
Yeah, because you point at it.
It
and you-
actually is.
yeah.
Dude, I've had only bad experiences with Wii point and shoots. It's just because it's just like
This one's good. This
There's a
one's
couple.
good.
There's a handful. Of, another going to Sin and Punishment's really good.
I
Yeah.
guess I just have bad experiences.
Majority of them are
Actually, I've
trash because that's like the obvious. Like,
Yeah.
okay, let's make a point and shoot game.
Yeah.
That's what we got a Wii for. You know, it makes sense.
Metroid Prime 3 is great
Yeah,
with
Metroid
it.
Prime does a really good job of
Yeah.
it. I would say Red Steel 2 does a good job of it.
Yeah.
Red Steel 1 sucked a fat
That's a
one,
bad
dude.
one.
Yeah.
So what's the
Hey, whoa, we're talking about games, guys. Whoa.
Yeah.
what's the
Better not do that.
What's the illegal thing?
All right, so involving GameFly, I I'm not gonna not disclose who it was. I just know who it was. Wasn't me. So
Wasn't me either.
I didn't have GameFly. I just didn't do it. So a certain someone we know had GameFly, and they would order games, and then once they were done, they'd send it back. Or whatever. I don't know how it works exactly, how long you can keep it for, but they ordered a specific game that a lot of people had copies of at the same time, at the time, and a friend of ours happened to. So the guy who had GameFly ordered that game. He had it, and he was playing it. Another friend of ours that didn't have GameFly had the same game, but his broke. His copy broke, like it scratched on the back.
Yeah.
So he couldn't use it at all. So they devised a plan. I don't know if the one who had GameFly knew of this, but they got their game, went to that person's house, and they put their broken game in the disc, in the the paper or whatever, and they returned it to GameFly as if it was that same game. So they kept GameFly's version, and they sent back the broken one. And nothing came of it.
But with things like that, they have like the stickers on the disc, so they know that.
No one said a word.
Wow.
No, there were no stickers on the disc.
There wasn't?
No.
Really?
And that's what we
Wait.
were wondering too. Is like, isn't this like GameFly's?
Because Netflix did have stickers on the disc.
Yeah, I don't think GameFly ever had the little sticker around
Maybe
the...
that's why they went down.
Yeah.
Because people
one
are probably
caught
doing
'em.
that all the time.
No one caught the person, and I mean, I'm sure he still has the game.
Well, and I don't think anything like GameFly could never compete with like an Xbox Game Pass now.
Yeah.
No, never.
And
That
also
digital's on
Steam
demand.
sales.
Yeah.
Yeah, because even if you did have to ship the game, you still have to download it.
That's probably why
Honestly,
they're all these sales. They have so
I
many
might-
copies of
Yeah.
it.
I might do, if I could go without downloading the game, if I could get around that by just ordering the game, I'd probably do that.
Well, the thing is now though, even if you have the physical
Exactly,
copy,
you
you
have to
still have to
download
download it.
I'm saying if you didn't have to, I would probably do GameFly if they had it,
Yeah,
That makes sense.
that makes sense.
just so I can get around it.
That's why I always thought Redbox was stupid when they started putting like Xbox One and PS4 games. I'm like,
Yeah.
you're gonna have to download like for 5 hours before you can play it. So
Yeah. It did. Well, it's just not even. It doesn't even work.
I just thought that was always kind of silly.
Well, it'd still be pretty expensive. I guess if you didn't want to keep the game and you just downloaded it and then played through real quick, you'd only spend like what, $10?
I guess that's
depends on
true.
how quick you played through it.
Yeah, you'd have to play through pretty. I mean,
so if you kept it
if
through
you
like
played
a
games
weekend or
like that,
something,
you would have priorities of when you're supposed to play.
yeah.
And you would get them done in those times, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be
Does-
a way to do it, to play new games for cheaper.
How does renting games on Redbox work? You just, depending on how many days you keep it?
Yeah.
Every day you put a credit card in there, and it just charges you every day that you don't return it.
Yeah, I think that the games are more than the movies. They're like $3, aren't they? Or $4?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Movies
they're
are like
double.
1, and then the games are like 3 or 4 or something like that. Which isn't bad if you play through the game and you don't want to keep it.
Exactly.
But that's the problem. Like I remember when we first saw it, it was like 2012, 2013, and it's not like I had lightning fast internet. Like to download an Xbox 360 game would still take me a while.
Oh yeah.
And so
Yeah.
I'm like, well, that was one thing that I told my dad. Like he's like, oh, should we rent this game? Like, Dad, like it's gonna take 2 days to download it.
You didn't have to download the time with Xbox 360, did you?
You'd have to
Some
download
games you did.
updates at the same time.
Yeah, some games you did have to download.
I guess I remember the only experience I have of that was GTA 5, where they sent 2 discs in the
That's what a
thing.
lot of it was.
I remember buying GTA 5 and then downloading that thing took forever at my house, like
Yep.
a whole day.
There wasn't it Halo Reach that came with 2 discs?
Nope.
What
Reach
Halo
never-
game was it that came with 2
Halo
discs?
4.
Halo 4. That was on the Xbox One though, wasn't it?
Nope.
That was 360.
That's
You're right, it
360.
was 360.
It's funny because when I worked at Play and Trade, whenever we got those games that like you had to download a whole section of the game to play it from another disc, to every single time we got one of those in, I would have to test them, and so I'd have to install them onto the hard drive, and then check if it worked. And if it worked, I could uninstall from the hard drive and then put it on the shelves. So and I remember there's been multiple games. They would get halfway through the installation, and it wouldn't work. So I'd have to re-clean it, and then I'd have to just uninstall everything else that it did install, and then try it again, and then didn't work again. Just like some Saturdays, the whole day was me messing with one game.
Jeez. And your boss didn't
What
care.
if-
He probably wanted you to do
wait,
that, huh?
Yeah,
I-
I mean, not much.
I
else
thought
else to do,
updates
to be
worked as
honest.
if it downloaded half and then it stopped working, you could save that half and then clean it and then put it back in. It starts at the same spot.
Well, yeah, but what if I cleaned it and that ruined the first half of the download?
Yeah. Okay.
Because cleaning the games essentially was sanding them down. That was the whole. That's
Sand
how
the
you.
scratches down.
That's how you clean the discs. That's how you still do it. You sand them down essentially.
That sounds
So
terrible.
finally, that it doesn't really do much, but you could only clean a game like 30 times max, and it's done. It's too thin.
That sounds terrible.
Wow. So Blu-rays don't do that anymore, right?
Yes and no. Blu-rays don't scratch as easily, but you can still scratch them, and sometimes you do have to sand them. Yeah, it was really interesting because some games, like, we had like an actual sandpaper, like 2 grit versions of actual sandpaper, and 2 like I don't want to say liquid, but like a paste.
Yeah.
A paste, and that was almost like it was like a sandpaper too. So some games I'd only have to use the paste on it, and some games I would use the sandpaper and like actually sand. Like you look at it, you can see like the spirals because it's spinning around in circles, getting sanded. It was actually really cool.
Isn't it very, very, very fine sandpaper though?
Oh yeah,
Was
it's
it,
so.
how many
fine.
thousands was it?
I think like 3,000 grit.
Cripes.
Yeah, it's insanely fine.
Yeah.
It was really cool. I actually kind of enjoyed it. At times it was really tedious, especially if you got a game that just would not get to a point where you thought it was worth, looking good.
Yeah.
And then some games you could just never clean because it was some kid basically just took a knife and
Threw up all over it.
And GameCube games really wouldn't clean because they would get so hot that they would start to melt and bend inwards.
Really?
Yeah, they would
They're
like
really small though.
yeah.
Those
That's
tiny.
why because they're so small they get so hot and bend inwards. Like I started to learn how to do it. But the first one I tried was one of my own because I just found it at a pawn store and it was warped inwards. I'm like, holy cow, this happened so quickly for just messing around.
GameCube games were always my favorite just because of how small the CDs were. It's like when they first came out, it's like, man, I've never saw anything like this. Then the PSP dropped and I'm like, whoa, I've never seen anything like this.
Those were so small they had to put a case
I
around them.
know.
We couldn't clean those.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yep.
But we got like 10 minutes left. Did you guys want to go talk about little grade school basketball matches
Oh, that's right. We can talk about
as a
that.
referee?
Do you want to do it next time? Because we got our I got my
your-
car.
And then
Oh, you got a
had-
sad
And
story.
Zay's got a sad story too.
You're right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's try and remember. I doubt we will, but
We're gonna end it on a lower note. Well, maybe we'll save it at the end. We'll probably
we'll
not.
see. Yeah.
How sad is yours?
Worse.
Ooh.
Worse?
Well, depending, it just go. You'll see.
Okay. I don't
Depends
think I
on
know
who
about
you are.
this.
Depends on who you are, what your interests are.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Cole, it wouldn't affect you one bit.
Really?
You probably don't.
Okay.
That's okay.
So this is mine. Me and Thane and Sky were driving to go check out a futon.
I wasn't there.
Zay wasn't. Yeah, he was at work. He had to go to work. And we were heading back, and leaving this parking lot had this huge dip, and my car has a really interesting design underneath. And when I hit the dip, I didn't really realize it. And Skylar said, "That's a big dip," and it was too late. I couldn't hit the brakes or anything like that. I was going pretty slow. Would you say?
Yeah.
Like maybe like 5 to 10.
Yeah.
So I hit this dip, and the bottom of my oil pan just smacked it, and it was loud. And I'm like, I know something is bad. Something happened. So I pulled out of the driveway, and I parked on the side of the road and took a look at it, and I could see cracks in it. And I thought, okay, we need to get home right now before oil leaks out of this thing so that we can actually make this to our house. So we got home. And as soon as I got home, I laid down there to check it, and I just hear just pouring of liquid, and I just see all the oil going everywhere. What happened, though, was while we were driving, it was actually keeping the oil inside because the oil was constantly moving and didn't have time to fall in the crack because the crack was in the bottom, of course. And then when we got home, it all settled, and I'll just pour it onto the ground, and I had to make a makeshift box, basically, oil pan to keep it in. Then I called my brother, which luckily he was actually coming down this weekend, and he's a big mechanic guy. And we were talking, and I think it might be just like JB Weld to just like seal up the cracks, and we should be fine. But I was so ticked. I was so mad.
He was like scary angry.
Wait, so you're not gonna be able to drive tomorrow then?
No, I have to take Thane's car.
Yeah.
Ooh, sorry, Thane.
He already offered it to me. I feel bad though because he won't be able to get lunch this entire week.
I'll be here. I can take him.
Here for you.
Mind you, Zay, I am behind you. I did leave your room
We
when
do
I
have to
originally
move the
parked.
Yeah,
cars.
we're gonna have to. Thane, are you going to work tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do some finessing.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to move the cars.
But yeah, that was my experience. It really sucked. I was pretty ticked off on myself for hitting that thing.
Guys, I'm not kidding you. He was scary mad. I've never seen Cole this mad ever.
You guys were silent the entire drive home.
Because I thought you were going to, like, kill someone, and I didn't want to be the fatality. I was like, it's like when someone's really angry and it's just awkward. Like, it's happened to Zay a couple times when I've been with him, and it's just awkward. I don't really know how to react to anger, so I just kind of don't do anything. I just be quiet.
There's two funny things that I looking back, I thought of what was funny. There was one guy that kind of was like pulling out of his like driveway or something, and I didn't flip him off, but he had a big pickup, and like it was overly big, and I just started just ripping him a new one in the car, and Thane and Zay Thane and Sky were just listening to him. He just ripped this guy a new one. Of course, this guy couldn't hear a word I was saying, but
yeah, and they're both like, yeah, you're right. That guy's not.
And the other thing was after I kind of got settled down, we were in our house. Sky was like, Zay, what are you doing? Because I don't want to be around Cole anymore.
It's because I was scared.
And we started working on a new song.
Yeah.
So that's what we did.
Mind you, I wanted to show you guys. I actually went back. Me and Slade went back, me and my brother, and I took pictures of it.
The spot?
And you can see right where I hit it because there's like a legit
chunk.
There's
taken?
like not a chunk, but like it's like a.
Is there a mark on the road?
It's a mark. Yeah. See that white spot?
Yep.
That's where I hit it. You can see that little chunk right there in the crack.
Yeah.
That's aluminum from my.
Ugh.
Did
you guys go back
gas
today?
can. No, that was yesterday.
Well, geez-o.
You can't really tell, but that's the side that we went in originally. And then this is the side that I hit. You can see where I hit it right there.
Jeez, dude. That's humongous dip.
It was crazy. It was a big dip. There's a lot of problems with a lot of the different parties involved. I would say the people that made that dip were a big fault. The people that made my car with the oil pan sticking down that low is a pretty big fault.
Also, Sky and Thane were both in the car.
No. I wouldn't fault them.
Oh,
Skylar even warned me about it. I just didn't hear him in time or something. I was definitely a big fault too, for sure.
I wouldn't say it out loud, but I like keep it inside my heart. Like, these guys have something to do with this.
Thane was in the backseat. Sky did
What
say
I do?
something.
I tried to help.
Exactly. Yeah, Sky, you did say something. Yeah, I don't blame them at all.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm saying if it's not, if you don't want to, it's fine. But I probably would. I'm saying I would.
When I felt the bump, I was like, "What the hell was that?" Because I didn't
Just
know.
like
it was,
that?
Yeah.
I answered.
You said it just like
I answered that bump that Skylar just warned me about.
Yeah, and he was like, that was it, dude. Once I saw Cole's face go red, I'm like, who's dying? Is it me or Thane? Let's go. Let's fight, Thane.
Let's go.
Let's fight to see
Let's
who's
fight
gonna
to see
die.
who Cole's gonna kill.
Let's try and kill each other to see who Cole's
Yeah.
going to kill.
Yeah.
But that's it. I mean, it's all kind of sorted out. I kind of know what I'm gonna do with it now. Sucky situation, but hey, life happens at times.
Suki,
I
man.
know. I freaking blew a tire last week, and I spent a whole day. I had work off, so I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get so much done this day. Blew a tire and spent the whole day trying to get my tire fixed. Car problems, baby.
Big B.
What do you got for Zay?
Knock on wood, baby.
Thane's had car problems too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
he did.
alternator.
Dang.
Sky also had an alternator go out on him.
I wonder what's going to happen to me.
Knock on wood. That was a slap.
That's bad
I
luck.
touched you.
Yeah, you did. That's a little awkward.
No, it'll be okay. All right. So today, I don't know if it happened today or if it happened like last night, but there is a rapper, musician, that passed away.
Oh,
Very
Oh.
popular one. His name is Juice WRLD.
Juice
What,
WRLD?
Juice
You know what that
WRLD
is?
I
died?
know his name.
Okay, you recognize the name?
Yeah.
He died.
What was that,
Whoa.
today or yesterday? Or
So it was announced today. So I'm not sure because he had a seizure in the airport when he was coming. He went from California to Chicago, I think, where he's from,
yeah.
and he passed away in Chicago.
Wow.
Whoa.
So I'm not sure if he landed like today or last night or whatever, but it was like announced today.
Man, that sucks. His career was like just taking off.
Yeah, I think he just turned 21 last week.
Holy crap.
Yeah, dude. Super sad.
I wonder what the reason was behind it.
Well, he's been pretty open about it, so I'm not like of course no details were announced. It's just said a seizure, but he's been pretty open about like his addiction to like pills and
Gotcha.
like alcohol. But
Man.
so a lot of people think that that's probably what it was.
That I mean,
Yeah.
just knowing the rap people, that's what I would have assumed.
Dude, it's like, that
Yeah.
reminds me of when, I mean, maybe it's not as, I don't know. I remember when Mac Miller died, like, dude, it shook up everybody, man. Like, Casey Neistat even made a video about it. Like, he was pretty, like,
About Mac Miller,
yeah, when
Mm.
Mac Miller died. Because what was he, 22, 23?
26.
26? Yeah, he's still a young guy.
Still really young, dude. So, like, just in like the past like 2 years, there's been like 4 big people that have passed away, like in the rap community. That
Who else?
sad, bro.
All relatively young.
So there's all really young, all in their 20s.
Lil
Yeah.
Peep.
So there's Lil Peep. He was 21,
Yeah.
and XXX Tentacion. He died. I think he was 20, and then Mac Miller, and then Juice WRLD.
Wow.
All within the last 2 years.
How did XXX die? Did
He
get
got
shot?
shot.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So the two, Mac Miller and Lil Peep, it's confirmed like it was drugs, and then XXX got shot, and then Juice WRLD supposedly. I mean, no one knows yet, but it's most likely drugs.
So was there like a bunch of eyewitnesses in the airport, or is he with like his crew?
I'm sure he was with his family and stuff, or who he travels with.
So
Yeah.
what's a song that I would know that Juice WRLD does? Because I know I've heard his name before.
I still see your shadows in my room. Can't take back the love.
kinda.
that I- It's that meme song. It's a
Yeah.
good song, but a lot of people know it as a meme.
Are we gonna
Gotcha.
be able to do the meme anymore?
Oh,
In
yeah.
memoriam, why not?
People-
In
As a tribute
memoriam,
People
I would
memed the crap out of like XXX Tentacion
Oh, yeah,
when he
dude.
died. So
It's
I'm sure
bad.
people are gonna meme anything.
You know, what?
Yeah.
I would
They don't
do
care
it. I would
anymore.
do it, but in the sense, I'm a fan of
When
Juice
that-
WRLD, so I would do it in like memoriam. That like that's a big thing
Well,
he did when he was
When
here.
that one song came out where it's like Moonlight, Spotlight, everyone was just
Yeah.
memeing that, and that's way after he died. Way
Yeah.
after Temptation
Well, I like
died.
if you think about it, like if you got to the point where you can make music or like make something that's gonna last, even like a meme or anything
Yeah.
like that,
Yeah.
then that's pretty cool.
yeah.
Even if you die at a young age, you still love something behind that's gonna
And-
last.
And just think, on Spotify, iTunes, all his music is probably now at like close to the top or at the top.
Yeah.
Well, look at freaking Rickroll, dude.
Yeah.
Rick
Sad,
Astley.
dude.
Did Rick Astley die?
No,
No,
he's
he-
not
No,
dead,
I'm just talking about his song.
Yeah.
It's a total meme.
Oh.
Like, my dad didn't even really know who Rick Astley was until I showed him Rickroll.
Yeah.
He's like,
I
wow.
recognize that song.
Because he wasn't that popular, you know? Maybe
But-
he was. Maybe Rick Astley was popular in the 80s.
In the
but
UK, probably.
Not in my dad's
I wonder
field.
who the first person was to decide that song is gonna be the Rick Roll song.
You want to know what it was? I found this out
Really?
because of VH1. It was either VH1 or MTV. But what it was is people would click on porn websites and it would take them to that video of Rick Astley singing "Never Gonna Give."
Why would it take
I
him
think
there?
the title
It's a
was
prank.
like
It's like a
Someone did
prank.
it. Maybe I wonder who did
Oh.
it, why they
I
did
Yeah,
think
like,
the
what was the
title
point
was
they
Hot
did it?
Redhead performed Super Hot Solo or something.
Yeah, something like that. And that's what it was. And I remember it was like VH1. It was like Best Pranks or something on MTV or VH1, and that was like one of the top pranks of the decade.
Gotcha.
It was because the internet was fairly new, and people would click on porn websites, like links to porn websites, and it would take them to a video of freaking Rick Astley.
Yeah, well,
Huh.
it also started on 4chan. Usually there was a beta meme called Duck Roll, where it was just like, ooh, Lindsay Lohan naked. You click on it, and it says you got duck rolled. There's a duck with wheels under him. That was
Huh.
it. It's like, you duck rolled me.
I thought you're gonna
Good
say
one.
I thought you're gonna say then you click on it and go, oh gosh, she really went downhill.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Ooh.
That's what I thought you were gonna say.
Yeah, after she filmed, what was that bug
Herbie.
movie? Herbie. After she
It's a
filmed
good
Herbie.
movie, bro.
She was fine then, but it was when she really got into like the crazy drug stuff.
Yeah.
Wasn't
I
that
always
after
thought-
Herbie?
Honestly, I always
She
thought
went to-
Lindsay Lohan was very
She
pretty.
went to
Oh,
jail,
yeah,
didn't
yeah,
she?
yeah. I
thought
think she
was
went to rehab and all that, but
Yeah.
like early in her career, she was really pretty.
like Freaky Friday. Like dang, I was like, wow, that's a hot mom. I mean, hot Lindsay Lohan.
Wasn't she in Mean Girls? Was she in Mean
She was
Yeah,
in
she
Mean
was.
Girls, yeah. Yep.
She also did an SNL skit too, where she played Hermione Granger.
Yeah.
Did
Oh,
you
I
ever see
remember
that?
that.
Was
I
it her
remember that,
Heine?
Her had tiggle bitties.
No, but it
Her
could have been,
Heine.
yeah.
I
'cause
think it
like,
was-
she
I
was
think they
like
called her her
sexualized,
Heine,
like
yeah.
her thing was open.
I'm
up
pretty
and
sure they
shit.
called her her Heine.
Yeah.
Her Heine. Did you guys hear about the whole thing going on with Pete Davidson and like his shows?
Who's Pete Davidson?
He's a comedian.
He's had a lot of things regarding his shows.
Yeah, well, like H3 was talking about it on their show, and I guess that Pete Davidson
Were they like critical? of him?
very critical because
Oh.
there's like a contract that you're supposed to sign, I guess,
If you
you
wanna
go
go
to the
see him.
if you go to the shows where it says that you're not allowed to talk about a show, you're not allowed to film anything, you can't say anything about the show to anybody. So it's like you can go to the
What?
show but never speak of it again, pretty much.
What?
Yeah.
What a weird
This isn't
thing.
Fight Club.
No, a while. You would think it is, Thane, right?
Pete Davidson's Fight Club.
So a while ago, I think
Comedy
there was
Club.
there was an incident where someone was at a show and he just said, like before, like, please just don't film like my show. Like I don't want people filming me when I'm up here performing. And then people still did, like, against his when he asked that, and then he kind of freaked out. So I think that's kind of where it came from.
But what I think's crazy, dude, and maybe it's just 'cause we're not celebrities, but in my head, it's like, yo, somebody paid money to come watch me be here on stage. I don't give a rip if they film me, dude.
Like,
No, I
hell,
disagree
I'm
with
not
that. They
gonna
shouldn't
talk
film.
about it.
They
Really?
shouldn't film. They can talk about any of that kind of crap, but they should not film because they're not filming with the intent of being able to save the memory.
No,
They're
they're like
filming with the
distributed.
intent to distribute it.
Yeah.
Well, that's anything, though. Like any concert, any rock show. Like, I guess if it's like a movie, if we're talking like a movie standpoint where you're not supposed to film in movies.
It's similar to that. I would almost say that rock shows are different. However, they do tell you to not put, film. I would say rock shows are different though, because I feel like you are filming for the memory at a rock show. I don't think you're filming the show to have the show,
Well, yeah, it's not
'Cause
like
it's typically like a 10-second clip that you're trying to film.
I see.
Well, that's what I've done anyway in the past. But yes, that's the best way to think about it. Is like movies.
Like a movie.
But also,
yeah.
I could see it being like for stand-up, like those guys are writing their own jokes. Of course, musicians make their own music, but that's a lot more like public. Like if you go to listen
True.
to like someone's stand-up routine, like usually you can't hear it unless you go to their show or
True.
they have a special on Netflix or something.
Exactly.
So like they have like a set routine that they use for a while, and I'm sure maybe he just doesn't want people, I don't
Knowing
know,
the jokes
stealing
and
his
stuff and
jokes
then not
or
going to a show
yeah.
because they know about it.
That makes sense in that aspect. I guess when I heard about it, I thought of like he just didn't want fans taking pictures and videos.
How he's
of him.
handling it, it's kind of, I don't know. He,
Well,
like,
I don't know.
I saw a video of him freaking out on someone because like he was like going after him, like yelling at him, and like swearing
stop
at him
filming?
and stuff. Yeah. So I don't know if that's the way to handle it, but I can understand like to a degree where he's coming from.
Yeah.
I mean, like concerts, they have people like tell you to stop, put down your phone.
I don't think they. So I tried to bring a
None of the
camera.
shows I've been to.
Yeah,
Really?
one of the concerts I went to, I tried to bring an actual camera,
You said
and
no.
they wouldn't let me, so I had to put it back in my car. But
Phones.
you got 10,000 people with cell phones holding them up, filming it. So it's like, dude, this is
either filming or they got their flashlights out. So everyone,
You guys been to the
has
knitting factory in Boise, right?
yeah.
So whenever I've gone
I've probably
there,
been there.
every time I've gone there, they always say put your phones away when you're trying to when you start recording. They say put your phones away. And they try to say I'll take your phone away and put it hide it or not hide it, but I'll take it away and put it somewhere so you can't
Really?
film. Yeah.
I've never.
Maybe
I've been in the
it's-
knitting factory
maybe
3
it's
times.
the
They've never said
venue,
anything.
Maybe it's the
Do you get
venue
close
or
to
the
the front?
or
Yeah.
the band.
Okay. I mean,
Maybe it's the venue or the
it
band.
could be. It could be.
I could see a band saying like we don't want that. So like if you see anyone doing it, don't. But all the shows I've ever been to, no one's ever said anything.
That's interesting.
But people are clearly filming. Like you can see like the
Oh, yeah.
huge
Oh,
iPhone.
yeah.
They're filming. You can clearly see it.
So I guess my thoughts on it though is these are your fans. They paid money to be here. Fans, regardless if they see your show online, will still come. So maybe he's just thinking in the aspect of he doesn't want people to steal his jokes, or I don't know, because it's kind of cool to think about hey, let's say I never see a band or this stand-up comedian. I can go online and still watch clips about what they're doing live. You know what I mean?
Well, they'll have their own as well to do. I mean, you don't have to find some random person's clips of those things. They'll have their own actual footage of that stuff too, though.
That's
And
true.
it'll be better.
Oh, it will be. Yeah.
I could see another thing just being maybe he just doesn't like to be filmed. I know a lot of people. I don't like being on camera. So I mean, I can see, especially if you're performing and a lot of people have their phones aimed at you. I would see it being more pressure almost maybe.
Yeah, that could be a little
Because
bit.
if you if let's say someone there's always hecklers at comedy shows, they always say stuff and try to mess with you if they're drunk or whatever. But
Mhm.
maybe
That
he
makes
says
sense.
something mean and then they record it and then they put it
Yep.
online oh, this guy's he's
see.
a dick or whatever.
That would make sense as well.
Maybe there's
in that
another reason.
aspect.
But
I think Pete Davidson should learn from Eddie Murphy when he did stand up. Just this is one of his specials. Take camera, and he grabbed someone's camera. He took a picture of the crowd, and then he flipped over, took a picture of his face. Then he looked left and right and took a picture of his penis, and he gave it back.
oh my god.
And it says when you get to
gosh.
develop and show your friends, tell them, that's a picture of Eddie Murphy's dick.
Try doing that now, bro.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I remember, speaking of something like that, when I was at the All American Rejects concert, the lead singer got really like crazy into whatever he was doing, and at some point he took off his shirt and got like just threw it at like the crowd. And as soon as he took off his shirt, someone from backstage ran a vest out and put a vest around him.
Really?
And at the end of the song, he's like, "Sorry if any of you guys saw my nipples." So I wonder if like that was a thing they couldn't do or something, because it seems like he got in trouble a little bit for doing it.
I don't know, man, because
Dude,
like bands I watch all the time take their shirts off. Like
Yeah.
at 21
there's
Pilots
just no
show.
rules. I feel like they just do
Yeah.
whatever
That's
they
what
want.
I would have thought
Let's
as
say you have
well.
someone like rowdy, like they're like I see a lot of people they have like water bottles, they're throwing them all over the crowd.
Dude,
They're-
there's
yeah, I've seen,
Yeah, like
they've done
open
that
off
kind
the
of
top
stuff
and
too.
then just
Yeah,
throw it. Like,
I've
they
seen that
just do
before as
whatever they
well.
want.
the
I mean-
Peppers played freaking with socks on their dongers one show.
True,
Butt
yeah.
naked.
I don't know why, but for some reason, like a guy ran out with a vest.
Yeah.
It could have been, yeah, that'd make sense. Because he, like, right after the song, he's like, "Sorry if any of you guys saw my nipples."
Maybe the only thing I could think of is if it was an all ages show. But All American Rejects cuss in some of their songs, so why would that be
Yeah.
an all ages show? You
I
know,
don't know.
that's the only thing I could think of.
It's a good question. No idea.
Well, you guys swayed me on the Pete Davidson thing. I can see the other side now. I guess I only saw it through, because I guess I was looking at it as if it was a fan, not necessarily someone that was trying to steal content or, I don't know, just be a douche and try and dox him. But,
Yeah, I can see it from both sides.
yeah. Maybe he's not handling it in the right way.
What do you
Who
think,
knows?
Dane?
I think like filming, yeah, if you don't want it filmed, that's up to you, but not talking about it afterwards, like just between two people or sharing about it online, that's
Little silly.
not only is that dumb, you can't prevent that. There's like, even if you sign contract, there's no guarantee
but
that
it's
they're gonna.
publicity, dude. It's like,
Yeah,
oh,
it's
people are
publicity's
talking
like,
about
oh
my
man,
show.
Pete Davidson, he's so funny. He had a joke about, and it's like, yeah, you tell jokes and more people are gonna go see your shows. If there's literally just a contract that says, yeah, you can't talk about the show anywhere, can't type about it online anywhere. Then yeah,
The
less
only
people.
rule is you don't talk about Pete Davidson's
Yeah.
Fight Club.
Yeah,
Right.
Oh,
yeah.
that hurt. I like burped and tried to hiccup at the same time, and it like destroyed my
those
chest.
hurt. Those hurt.
Ugh. Well, guys,
Gonna throw up.
yeah.
it's been real. I think we've got 1 or 2 more episodes of the podcast this season.
And
Next week might be the last one. Not too sure.
Oh,
I'd
it's
have
not
to look at
over yet.
I'd have to look at the calendar. But hey, we got some cool things coming up. Some rebranding going on. A lot of things are in the works. Like Thane, for example. We're trying to train Thane to keep his hands above his waist at all times.
And below mine.
don't talk about if you. It's just like Morgan Freeman said. Stop talking about it.
What's it?
Hey, literally anyone.
it's like-
that's what Morgan Freeman. Oh, not Morgan Freeman. That's what
Chris
Piers
Rock
Morgan
said.
said.
Yeah.
It's
No,
such like
Chris
a
Rock.
like a
No, so
generic.
the thing about
That's what Chris Reagan said,
Yeah.
Thane.
no, he says like
Chris Chan said that. I'm pretty sure.
That's what
when he was
Sugar
asked a
Gay
question.
said.
No, when Morgan Freeman was asked a question how to stop racism, he just said stop talking about it.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. In that
So,
context, sure.
How to make me grabbing my crotch less of a problem? Stop talking about
maybe
it.
that was
But that
Samuel
won't
Jackson.
make you stop it though. We're trying to get
Maybe
you to
that was
stop
Samuel
it though.
Jackson. I think it was Samuel Jackson.
No, it was Morgan Freeman.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm pretty
Samuel
sure.
Jackson said something similar. Though.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, guys,
wait.
oh,
Before
something.
you said Sugar Ray.
Yeah.
Sugar Ray.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sugar Ray.
Yeah.
So Ethan, what he did is he paid Mark McGrath on the latest podcast. He paid him to, Ian the intern. He paid Mark McGrath to fire Ian on the show. Like he paid it like a cameo to have him like get fired. It's just full circle. That was hilarious.
Did he get? Was
so
he actually
funny.
fired, or was it just a joke?
No, it was just a joke. But Mark McGrath's like, sorry, Ian. Looks like Ethan. He wanted me to let you know that we can't. Times are tough this time of year, so we gotta let you go. He just like goes through it all, dude. It's so funny.
Did he know it was H3?
No, he didn't.
Bro, when's Papa going on
I
the
don't
show?
think he knows. I have no idea.
That's gonna be a well worth watching show, Cole. Just so you know.
Cole,
No
it's
moaning.
full circle. Do you
No
know how
moaning.
long H3's been like? They've been memeing on like Papa John.
Like the food.
That's where they got
place?
Papa Bless from.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Bo's in the house.
So they've been
Bo's in the
making
house.
jokes about Papa John.
Bo's
like,
in the
for
house.
a long time.
Like pizza.
Like
Yeah.
the pizza. They like years ago, like 4 or 5 years ago, they made videos about like just Papa John's, and like they've been trying to like talk to him for years, and then now finally, since Papa John's is not with Papa John's anymore, he can.
And apparently he's got some dirt on the current.
Yeah, he can do it
CEO,
now.
yeah.
But he ate 30 pizzas in 20 days or something.
40 pizzas in the last 30 days.
That's why he
I've
looks
had
like
over
a
40
pizza.
pizzas in
He
the
looks
last
like a
30
pizza,
days.
dude. I haven't seen the interview. Full circle.
Neato.
Yeah, maybe if we talk about something long enough, who do we want to have on the show? Zac Efron?
We got to get a better studio before
Yeah.
we do it. We got to go rent out that space in the mall.
No, we want them in our. let's get them in our basement.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's space down here. It's just like.
And it's cold. I'm
Yeah.
down. Let's
I'll
do it in
sit
the
on his
basement.
lap.
You're sitting on his lap.
Well,
It'll
I'll
be
be
like
like-
the same person.
Yeah, I'll be like, whoa,
I'll be
or
his
her.
little
What if
clone.
we get like?
Zach?
What if we
who's
get
who?
like Natalie Portman or something?
I don't know if I can contain myself.
Oh,
I'd probably try to make
Never
out with
mind.
her.
Let's get someone else.
Yeah, I tried to
Oh,
kiss her or
gosh.
something.
How old is Natalie? She's like
We'll get
30.
Ricky Berwick.
You think I
We'll
care?
get Ricky Berwick.
I'm
in
not
the thing.
saying that. I'm
And he
just
could
saying.
sit
I'm
on
just
my lap.
wondering.
Oh, you want Ricky Berwick to sit on your
He
lap?
probably is 30.
Let's just
Be
get-
like a pet
let's just get
monkey.
Victoria
He's like
Justice.
my monkey.
Okay.
No.
I don't know if I'd be able to contain myself
yeah,
either.
feed me
I know,
Reese's,
but
and I just feed him
Me
Reese's
and you
in
will
his
have a
mouth.
thing.
It's like, yeah, we can't have any guests on the show because Sky tries to kiss everybody.
Thank you guys for listening
End on
and
that.
watching
End on that.
to the
Skylar's thing called boundaries.
non-child friendly podcast
Not for kids.
written by your hosts Thaner, Xaver,
Zaner.
Skyver, and Colonius.
Coldiver. Coldiver. Yeah, we actually read a script. It's not written by us. We actually have fans write our scripts and send them in.
Every topic we talked about today is not original at all.
Yeah, but the only problem is they write it in like Chinese because I think we only have Chinese fans.
Thanks Google Translate.
Yeah, so Google.
That's
If
why
you don't
our,
like what you heard,
that's
I mean,
why our
it's-
speech makes no sense because Google Translate translated it for us.
Not because we failed English.
Hey.
Bobby Burns.
Have a fantastic one and also follow our social medias.
Yeah, Zay posts clips daily.
They're funny
Not
clips. I saw a funny
Not
clip
daily.
the other day. It was a
Okay.
rabbit.
Oh, the funny one.
That was the
yeah.
funniest freaking thing
Good
I've
one.
ever
It's a
seen.
good one.
Because I was there, but
It's a
I
gold
wasn't
moment.
there.
That's true.
It was so good.
It's a good moment.
It was so
It really
funny.
is.
The best part was, this guy was like, "Oh, it's the cutest effing thing I've ever seen," and they just jumped.
Sky killed them. Sky,
they committed
Sky, your
suicide.
presence pushed them to the edge.
It was
Hey,
so
you walked
great.
up towards them, they're like, nope.
Probably didn't help that I was walking to him with a sword. There was two of them, those cute little bastards. They jumped off.
Thank you guys.
Follow the socials for an occasional video, and then Discord. I think you should ask to join our Discord. We'll let you.
It's pretty fun. It's a good time in there. Thang keeps it spicy by posting some dank memes once a month, maybe twice.
Yeah,
every
it's
2
whenever
months.
anyone else posts, then he'll throw something in there.
We got some links below. You can click on those to get to most of the stuff we've talked about.
No
social
Zeldas
medias
though,
and
sorry
Discord
guys.
and whatnot.
We don't have any Zeldas below, just links.
Let us know what you want us. Let us know what you
Organics.
want us to stream
Yep.
or play.
And have a fantastic rest of your Thursday evening if you happen to be listening to this on a Thursday evening.
And as always, keep it rad. Then you didn't yell.
Ooh ee ooh ah ah ting ting walla walla bing bing.